What do you think Donald Trump meant by that, and was he sending a message?
Well, another hurricane, World War III. What it's really about, of course, is trying to keep people a little bit off balance, both inside the United States, so that Trump is unpredictable and you have to keep watching him, sort of because you never know what's going to happen. And also, most particularly the North Koreans and the Iranians. He's made very clear that he wants the North Koreans to believe that he could engage militarily. He wants the Iranians to believe that if they don't behave and improve the quality of their cooperation with the West, then their relationship with the United States will get a lot worse. And by doing that, by sending that message with all of the military officials around him, the message that Trump, of course, is implying is not just that we're talking about sanctions, but that Trump is a guy who's more than willing to actually send in the bombs to put the boots on the ground, as we saw in Syria after the Syrian government was proven to use chemical weapons yet again. I think that's really the message that you have here.
Ian, what do you think the strategy actually is, whether he's messaging here to the North Koreans or the Iranians or both here? Do you think they actually see this as credible from the president?
Look, I do think that the North Koreans have to consider that even if you have a bunch of quote-unquote adults around Trump, like Tillerson, like Mattis in particular, the Secretary of Defense, that would be recommending strongly against military operations in North Korea, that Trump himself is a greater question mark, is more uncertain. Now, it is true that this has the potential to bring the North Koreans to the negotiating table. But, certainly if you were advising Kim Jong-un, you would also tell him, hey, if there's even a 1% chance that Trump is going to strike you, it's very important for you to develop publicly as much deterrent capability against a Trump first strike as humanly possible. Do that publicly and do it quickly. And so certainly, why do you think the North Koreans are stepping up their tests of ICBMs, miniaturization, re-entry technology, talking about hydrogen weapons, all of that? To the extent that they can credibly hit Trump back on the American homeland, then Trump's threats, even if they only represent a tiny likelihood of occurring, are much easier to deal with if you're North Korea. So even if this were a well-executed madman, good cop, bad cop theory, which I don't think it is, it still has great potential to backfire on the United States.